But how your journey began with me? How did you find me? How did we discover each other?
Yeah, so to say about the meeting, it's a quite a funny way, but then I believe that should be a comic bonding because it was not it just happened organically. It was nothing pre-planned or we were not in same school. So everything began in Rishikesh, like when I went to Rishikesh just for the yoga training.
And
So
that
I
was in
just happened
2020. That was in 2020
2024 March.
during March.
So,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's just on one fine evening, I was with my friends, walked into a canteen, just sat on a table to just have some snack. But then next to the table, like you were with your colleague, and then it just so happened, just uh, basic conversation started. Which school of yoga have you joined? And then how is it? So that's how it got connected. Though I was with a couple of friends, but then I got connected with you because when you have told you were a Vedic chanter, so that attracted me to come in touch with you because I have more interest towards learning Vedic chants. So I found, okay, that should be an opportunity for me, that I found a person who teaches Vedic chantings for whom I was looking for so long. So I thought, okay, fine, because I had sufficient time back then to learn something. So I just had your contact, and then I thought, okay, fine, when I get free time, I can connect with you so that I can learn something. So
And that
after
was
that's the first meeting. That's the
yeah,
first meeting,
and that was
March
it the March
2024.
2024 at the Paramarth Nikatan, right? I was in the
Yeah, but yeah,
International Yoga Festival, and you were there also for your yoga
I
training. Yeah.
for my yoga training. I was not
Yeah.
in the same yoga festival. We didn't meet even for the second
Exactly.
time. Ayurvedic doctor as well as a holistic
Ayurvedic
trainer,
practitioner. Yes,
an
Ayurvedic
Ayurvedic
practitioner. Yeah.
practitioner, holistic trainer, as well as Vedic chant, Vedic mantra chanter. So I'm like, okay, fine. The mantra chanting, that word, like
It
it
stuck
got
to you.
connected, it stuck
It got-
to me. So I'm like, okay,
yes.
fine. Why don't I take your number and then why don't I come in touch with you if I get some time to learn?
Correct. Correct.
So
Yeah.
after that meeting, we part our ways. Like I was into my school and then you were with your programs. When
And
I went,
also, by the way, during that time, you were also visiting for a short time, and you still live in Canada, and you were visiting for a
yeah,
short time in India also,
yeah,
right?
it was just for a
Yeah.
short. I just came only for a yoga training session from the Canada. I went back to my home, and then after I went back, and that's when I came in touch with you about my Vedic chanting lessons. So I wanted to learn Sri Suktam because it's a Vedic mantra. It should be pronounced with all the intonations. It's not
Right.
like other stotrams that I can just read. That's the reason I wanted to learn from a guru who teaches with the intonation. So
The intentions.
when I spoke with you, and then when you said, yeah, you were like, you were more excited because directly I asked you to teach Sukta, not the simple
I remember that.
shlokas,
I
not the
remember
simple
that.
shlokas. So you were kind of shocked, and directly you're
Yeah.
asking about Suktam.
Suktam, yes.
Yeah,
And I
so
still, yeah, can I share one thing here? And that's the reason I was so excited, exactly like you said, because usually before also I have taught, right? I would teach when I was in the US also, as I told you, right? I was in the US for 9 years. And towards the later part, when I started learning Vedic chantings in 2021, after that, 3, 4 years, 2000 and 2022, when I came back to India, I taught some introductory workshops like Shanti mantras and all that. But I never actually, first of all, I never had anybody who wanted to learn directly a Suktam with those Sanskrit knowledge. And you mentioned growing up, you were already chanting. These things were happening. Especially Sri Suktam was being chanted at your home, right? By your aunt. I think your aunt.
yeah,
You mentioned she would chant. Your mom also would chant this one and other nam. That's
yeah,
a stotram, but these mantras. So That's why I was super excited. Like, wow,
Even you were
let's do this.
excited, and then I was also like, fine. I got that opportunity to learn from a person who teach me, because I was looking for a teacher who would teach the Vedic, like how
Hmm.
they were teaching Gurukul. But then I didn't had that opportunity to go to Gurukul to learn. But okay, fine. When I got someone like which the meeting was organically happen, so that I would always connect the actions, whatever happens, to the karma. So I felt okay, maybe because I wanted to learn the Suktam, maybe because of that, I found a person who would teach the same that I wanted. The meaning of that first meeting would be for this. That's how I purpose. Maybe the universe has created, just it was the meeting was just 5 minutes or something. It
Right,
was not a planned meeting, just a random, a stranger. There was so many hundreds of people in the canteen, but it's
right.
just for within 5 minutes, like we got connected, and then the journey continued. Like it's been more than 2 years. We're still in
Yeah.
touch with each other. And so I would connect this as a karmic bonding, and then
Wow.
because my wish to learn something, and then universe has helped me in sending a person who would teach me that, and then I have learned. Finally, I have learned Sri Suktam, and then
Right.
it didn't end with Sri Suktam. I had another opportunity to learn Durga Suktam with you, and then which is so grateful. So now I've learned Sri Suktam and Durga Suktam from you.
Yes.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy with that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I was looking at my on the other side here, looking at my phone just to see when did we connect back for the mantra. So I was checking our chat in the WhatsApp. So I see that in August, towards the end of August, we connected back. Like when I reached out to you,
2024.
2024 August. So we met in March in the International Yoga Festival, then went back again in August. So thank you for sharing. Next, I was about to come to that mantra part, since we were talking about, we started with the Sri Suktam, and that's the mantra part was the thing that got you interested at the first place, right? Among the other
Yeah,
things I said, like you said,
yeah,
that one stuck to you because that was
that
more
was,
your
yeah.
familiar ground, right? And you wanted to do that. So you first came to me as a student of Vedic chanting, especially for Sri Suktam, and also later joined the Durga Suktam chanting sessions, right? In 2025, in November, December, when I was doing those. So
Yeah,
yeah, Durga Suktam, when I was doing group sessions. First one was one to
mm,
one, second one was in a group sessions.
group
And you
session.
were, I still remember that when I approached you to become the lead and follow, the lead for the lead and follow.
That's a great opportunity, sir. It's
Right.
a great opportunity for me.
Because I know how you chanted because I already had experience with you, and other students were beginners compared to you. So thank you for doing that time in the Durga Suktam. So I would ask you, Suvarchala, briefly, could you explain or share what was your experience of learning Vedic chanting with me, or in mantras general, when we also discussed few of the other mantras in the sessions we have learned, right? The pranam mantras, the invocation chants. So what was your experience of learning mantras with me?
So I would say the classes were well organized, because to learn the Suktam directly without having any knowledge about the intonations, it would be difficult, because your classes were organized well with the basics ahead of getting into the chantings directly. That gave a kind of basic knowledge about how it should be chanted with the rules, what rules should be followed. Having that knowledge, it made easy for me to learn the Suktam. And
Mhm.
then after, during the classes, you were recording a session. So that helped me in future if I had to go back and then correct myself, or go back and see how it was taught, it would be
Mhm.
easier. So all those resources, like, and then the PowerPoint presentations that you have made with all the color codings, that makes
Yes.
easy
Yeah.
for the person. So it's a lot of us. That effort made us to learn easily.
Thank you. Thank you.
Both the chantings were so easy. It was, I didn't feel it as a difficult, because having all those rules were taught in the beginning, before the chanting was started, before the suktam was started. So that way it became easy. And then the Sri Suktam was one on one. I had sufficient time to ask some questions or to express my doubts. Durga Suktam was a group session, but group session, I didn't feel like the classes were rushing. So still even a group session, the classes were, it has got a sufficient time to discuss if we have any questions or if the pronunciation was not correct, if there is any difficulty in the pronunciation, we would ask you to repeat. So that's how, and then all the sessions were recorded so that we would go back and then correct
Review.
ourselves. Yeah,
Review.
that's
Yeah.
it. So it was all the classes were well organized, and then it became easy for us to learn. For us, in the sense, because I did join group sessions as well.
Correct.
So even the other students, really, and they were also satisfied the way you were teaching. So that's the reason it became easy for us to learn Sukta.
Thank you. So Suvarchala, thank you so much. First of all, really grateful that you felt that the learning experience was very fulfilling. And yes, I remember the Durga Suktam only had 8 or 9 mantras in it, but we did it over the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? We split it up only with taking two at each day.
Yeah.
Each day was almost like 1.5, 2 hours, right? Yeah. So very important thing you mentioned, and I will come back to the next part of our discussion, but very important here, one thing I wanted to focus on, that even if you didn't know the technicalities of the Suktam or the Vedic mantra chantings, it still was easy for you. Can you just shed a couple of lights what you will share for those people who are new to mantras and who are scared of even Sanskrit language? And I also have the mantras in Sanskrit Devanagari script and the English, right? So do you think that someone who does not know Sanskrit and or who does not know Vedic mantra chantings basics, do you think they can also learn in this approach in which you learned? Do you think they can also grasp this very quickly and also should be equally capable of learning this and implementing this in their lives? Because many
Of
people approach
course.
me, especially from sorry to interrupt you, especially from US, or I was in the US, right? I have people from US, they emailed me also when I sent out this mantra chanting emails, that, oh, I don't know Sanskrit, or they are they speak a foreign language, not necessarily pronouncing Sanskrit on a regular basis. So that's why I asked you that, what do you think, that will they also be equally capable of picking it up with this approach?
Yeah, of course, anyone can start learning. It's never too late to begin something. People who are not with, no one is familiar nowadays because everyone are more into English language. No one are constantly reading Sanskrit books. People from outside India, it would be very difficult for them to pronounce the
Correct.
letters or the sounds that the Devanagari Lipi has got. But it never too late. Like, it's easy when you start by by taking baby steps, and then always there is a room to improve. So even myself, yes, it was easy for me though to learn directly Suktam because I had experience of chanting stotrams right from my childhood. So that way, and then because I'm an Indian, those letters and then those soundings were all familiar for me. But then
Familiar.
for
Yes.
non-Indians, these letters and then this pronunciation would be little difficult though. But once they keep they keep doing it, once they keep listening to the sounds, it would be easy for them to pronounce. Uh, First, learning the alphabets and then concentrating on the sounds and the pronunciation. And then it would be easy for them to go ahead with the difficult ones like suktams and all. But then, anyways, you are not jumping directly into the suktams to the people who are approaching you for mantra chanting, because you are starting with the basic shanti mantras. That way, they get used to those alphabets and then those soundings. And then slowly, once they pick up learning those Shanti mantras or the simple stotrams. And slowly you're teaching them Suktams, which has got very complex intonations and then the sounding. That way, anyone can learn. It's just the practice and then that interest of learning without dropping it because thinking it's so the pronunciation is difficult.
Yeah.
Keeping that aside, starting with the basic steps, and then it would be easy for them to learn the
Correct.
difficult ones as well.
Correct. And
Even
thank you.
because you have got that interest, you started learning as you grew up, and then you started like reinforcing your abilities by learning new things. So the
Yes.
same way, even it doesn't mean people who start these chantings only at the young age could learn the suktams or the difficult ones. It's
Correct.
nothing like that. Even the older people, even if they're starting at this point of time, still they would be able to learn.
Right. Yeah.
So
And
nothing
I,
is difficult.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And although I went to, yes, I did go to Ramakrishna Mission schools, Gurukul system schools, where we would chant these Upanishadic mantras during several times in a day, right? Before, as we wake up in the morning, as we go in our school was starting, our study time was starting, we will chant Bhagavad Gita Shlokam. Before the food we will eat. So 5 to 6 times every day. But I didn't learn it until I was in the US in 2021, until to learn it
Mm.
professionally from another guru. That I didn't do, but I was chanting this in the growing up. So you are right that I started actually learning it professionally as a Vedic chanting learning when I was 32. So I was chanting these mantras very many times in a day, growing up from when I was 10, 11 years, even before then. But actual learning can happen at any time, right? Yes,
Yeah.
especially with those English transliteration of every Sanskrit letter is now transliterated to English, right? So it's like reading out English letters, knowing the rules how to pronounce, and even the basics. We are talking about basics. So we start with this udatta, anudatta, swarita. So how many kinds of pronunciation, what they mean. So I think that really was also helpful, right? With starting with the different types of intonations,
Yeah.
how are they different and all that. And
Yeah.
color coding. Color coding actually came from
Wonderful.
another, yeah, the color coding also came from another student who suggested me from US actually. She said
Oh,
that how about you color code this Udatta Anudatta in a different color? So I got it
so
actually from
that way
another
it would be easy for anyone to learn.
visually. Yeah, visually also. Yeah, thank you. So thank you so much. That was really supportive and detailed. Thank you for that. Now, next, our so that was in August, right?
Yeah.
2024, August.
So,
And then
mm,
we connected back. Yes. And then we connected back again organically, right? For your pregnancy support. Would you like to
yeah.
share on that? When you were pregnant, we had a few holistic pregnancy support sessions when I was supporting my cousin, sister also,
That's good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got your got your message about you sharing the news. So, what kind of support, if you can share, did you receive from me during that phase in 2025, September, October, starting then? And how did it help you physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually to prepare as in the prenatal phase? Yeah.
So that would be another organically uh, connection that was made with you and I feel and the baby because I didn't mean to take a holistic pregnancy approach from you. It just because I knew you, I wanted to share this news with you. That's it. I didn't expect anything from you. It's just like how I would share this happy news with all my close ones. So the same way, I just shared the news and then you organically came on yourself saying that's nice because even I'm training my cousin who is also in the same gestational period, so why don't I help you out? Because anyways, I am preparing the protocols for her. That would be same for you as well. So I might as well I'll just you yourself offered me that why don't you hop on those sessions when I'm connecting with my cousin so that would help you as well. I was like that's a great opportunity for those sessions really helped me a lot. I would think why didn't I get connect with you during my first trimester itself. I because I didn't expect this from you. I thought I just shared the news. After I shared the news right away, you came up saying that why don't you hop on the session? So when I joined those sessions, so the protocol you have created, it was like day, and then uh, starting with the particular weeks, what would happen, like how the baby is growing, and then to facilitate the baby's growth healthy, what mother has to be done, what she has to eat, what she has to drink, what movements she has to do, what yoga asanas she has to do. So it was in detail for each and every month, I would say. So that helped me a lot. So I would also recommend my friends regarding this, because in this busy life and a busy schedule, so no one is taking care like how what to eat. Though every pregnant woman eats healthy, but having a coach, it would facilitate more. It helps, and then it would be more, even if they go off track, when a coach is looking, when a coach is training you, you will be in track. You don't want to eat anything else because of the cravings. Obviously, pregnancy, during the pregnancy, everyone will be, the women will be having a lot of cravings. So when there is a coach to keep you in track, so the cravings can be controlled, and then that way the a lot. And so even in the protocol was followed till my arrival to India. So though I had planned to come to India to deliver the baby, so it was so detailed, and then even how it was so detailed that what I have to carry even in the flight, how my flight journey should be, what I have to eat in the flight, and then things to
I
carry during the travel. So
I
the
remember
protocol
that.
was
Yes.
so clear and in detail and so personalized. Though you were doing with your cousin, but you still personalized that for me. But it's just organically it happened because you didn't charge anything for me for that. You were like, I'm helping my cousin, why don't I help you? So I felt really grateful, because without charging a penny, you spent your time, your energy, just so it's just organically happened.
I just want to really thank you for your acknowledging the fact, the things that you noticed. Yeah, thank you so much. It was just my way of giving back your learning interest and how sincere you are. So from my side, if you ask me why I did that, is because since I worked with you already before, so I knew how much committed and how much sincere you are in. Because many times I see people come and they are just want to check out things and they don't apply. But for you, it was different. I knew that. So it was a natural call for me to bring you in. And I just stopped you a little bit for the postpartum part because I was looking at our messages when we got connected for this support. For you, I see that in 10th of October, in the October second week, you had brought in the group and your gestational period started, I think, in end of July,
So that's
right?
my second, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
So
second transfer that we've connected.
so in July, end of July, and then in October, right? So after 3 months, and then we got connected. So July, August, yeah, about 2.5 months. Then we got connected for this support. I was trying to check when exactly, because this timing is also important, right? Since what time you started to receive, and the protocol changed, right? We have another 4 or 5 meetings after that, and the protocols change, right? Every
Yeah.
as per guidance, holistic healing guidance, the protocols also change as we proceed
So just
and then from then on until the delivery part, right?
detail.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the next part, which we are organically proceeding, is that by God's grace, now that you have had, you went, and your dedication to come from Canada to India also was just like, but with all the protocols, Vedic protocols and rituals you followed. Again, exactly for that reason, I was organically willing to support you, because I know how much committed to maintaining of these protocols you are, like how much committed you are in that. By God's grace, when that you delivered the baby, and it was in March, right? The second week of March.
March, yeah, second
Second
week
week
of
of, yeah. So now that that has happened, that the baby is organically delivered and a natural birth, and you entered the postpartum phase. So I'm now supporting you with a detailed postpartum holistic protocol. We had the meeting last week, right? So how does this support feel for you at this stage? How helpful is this support with that postpartum support protocol? Because I know you said, sir, like you, just like you had these protocols before prenatal, and it makes sense because this postpartum support is a part of this pregnancy support,
Learning,
right? So
pregnancy
thank you
learning.
for asking me that. And how was that for you?
So even this, I would say, just happened organically because the same after I came to India for my delivery, I just told you that I have reached India safely and then I'm settling the things. And then later on, I didn't get in touch with you. After a couple of months, I think, maybe 2 months or so.
Yes, in May,
I,
in the second week of May. And in the I
yeah,
got to know from you in probably end of April or something, but I saw you, I visited you in Hyderabad. That was in May, second week of
yeah, May 13th, May 14th it
May
was. So
14th.
so I just after my delivery, like I took some time to get in touch with you to tell the news. And then you also gave me that space without bothering me. What happened? Have you delivered? Without any of those questions, you just gave me that space. So when I got some time, I texted you saying that I have delivered a baby by God's grace, everything. I'm good. The baby is doing good. And then I knew that you would be in Kolkata. So I just asked you if at all, if you get some time, please visit us. Come down to South India. And so just please visit us if you get some time before I leave to Canada. Then it so happened that you were like, I'm already in South India. Why don't I come next week? I'm like, wow, that's good. I didn't
Yeah, I was
expect
in
that to
Chennai,
be happening
Chennai,
so
and
soon.
yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Chennai and then in Coimbatore. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's wonderful. So you came down, you took your time, effort, and energy to come visit us. So happy. So when you came down, I just asked you pregnancy, the care should be taken, how you have given a protocol. Will there be any protocol, something like that? Even for the,
Right.
of course there is. Why don't I create one for you, which that would be helpful even for the others in future, whoever approaches me. So I'll create one for you. So you offer that as well. I must be so grateful for you because it's not that easy to spend some time without expecting anything financially. Like you created the protocol that's so big. If I take a printout of it, it would be a booklet. It's so big. So you have made a detailed protocol starting from oil massage, food to be taken, even for asanas, like to get recovery, like to get back to normal. So the yoga asanas in detail. So everything like the massages, how it should be done, and then the food, how it should be cooked, what all foods to be taken, a postpart a lady, what all she has to take. So it's so detailed with all the pictures and with recipes.
Appendix. The appendix has our
Yeah,
even details of this, which might be confusing. There is an appendix section also.
appendix. Yeah. So took some time to create. Not some time. It would have taken you quite a bit of time, though. It's so detailed, and then the protocol. It helps me because, to be frank, I don't have so much of time to follow so much that you have given, but I'll try to do it
Yeah.
because there's a lot to do.
Yeah. And
I
we
try to
also,
do that.
yeah, and on that note, that's why we also talked about the minimum viable protocol. What are the bare minimums that need to be taken care of, right? So that's also why we talked about, see, if you can't do this, at least do that, or what not to do than what you should do, right? That is more
Yeah.
important. So that's why there are a minimum viable version. If the whole version is not possible, so then at least the bare minimum
Mhm.
version.
And then you taking so much of effort to add on the links, the products that I have to purchase so that to save my time, you spend some time to search the products, and then you already gave those links in the protocols. So I just click on it and then order from Amazon. So that helps a lot. So it's not easy for you though, sitting for so many hours to create so much and then to search again those products. It would be easy for you to just, this is the prescription, you just go purchase, but then you understood my situation and then you made it to be very easy for me. So you add on the links as well so that it gets easy. And then when you visited our home, when my grandmom spoke with you, you even did a free consultation for her. And then you helped her by telling what I would say, of course, like how much ever the family members say that nothing happened to you, you are all good. But of course, they won't listen. But a person from outside, if they come and say that nothing is wrong with you, you're all fine, all doing good, you just have to do a few exercises to just recover from your disease. So she listened to you and then she was so happy. She was so satisfied. Even though she doesn't know your language, she was still saying in her own language, but you took an effort to translate and then
Remember, we were using Google Translate for each other.
yeah, yeah. So you took an effort to translate the, and then you still you tried to explain her how to do her exercises and then how to take her medications, her massage, everything. And then you added her protocol as well into my protocol so that I would get her stuff. So it's not like I don't think anyone would do without, of course, if there's a long relationship, then that's how people usually help. But then with the duration, and then I didn't even continue learning from you. I just learned those two suktam, and then I just dropped the classes. So I didn't even continue. But then just saying the pregnancy news, you came up with the pregnancy protocol. Saying that I have delivered a baby, you came up with a protocol. Along with that, listening to my granny's sickness, you came up with her protocol as well. For that the work that you are doing for us. I'm so
Thank you.
happy, and then thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Suvarchala, thank you. I just want to say that with students like your interest and your sincerity and this Vedic knowledge, the Vedic wisdom, I'm a certified Ayurvedic practitioner and a certified yoga teacher, traditional Thai massage therapist and teacher. All this knowledge, they are not supposed to be kept within us and it's almost meant to be shared so that it's even for the recordings. I was telling you, what's the point of me having it? I'm sharing the
Mhm.
recording with you from the last protocol. Remember that at least you have it. If you look at it or not, it's up to you. But I can at least share. So anyway, all this wisdom of holistic health and wellness, especially yoga, Ayurveda, these Vedic sciences, they are meant to be shared. And if I get an opportunity for people like you with your sincerity, level of sincerity and commitment, I know that as a professional, learning wise, relation wise, with the financial aspect of it attached to it, I know that you stopped learning and all that, but I already saw your intensity and tenacity of the learning and your sincerity and commitment to follow and implement those learnings. So that was an obvious call for me. So that's the reason I felt naturally drawn to. So let's talk about this holistic approach you are sharing, right? So what stands out to you about the way I combine Vedic chanting, even chanting to the baby, also giving you mantras to chant and doing it myself in person while I was there? What stands out to you about the way I combine the Vedic chanting, mantras, Ayurveda, yoga, lifestyle guidance, emotional support, holistic healing approach? How does that stand out for you as a recipient of those protocols or the learnings? How do you think that holistic approach helps you?
So in the busy schedule, I think a person, one person to go who gives you the knowledge of Ayurveda, tantras. You just, if I just approached you and then because you have the knowledge of everything, it's easy for me to take any kind of help, that could be yoga or Vedic chanting. The first way of approach was Vedic chanting. I didn't expect yoga from you. I didn't expect holistic healing from you. But then, because you had the knowledge of everything, that helps a lot to the people if they have any questions, anything about all the other branches that you have the knowledge of. So it would help people. So it did help me a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. So, final question I would like to ask you here is, if someone is considering working with me as a coach, as their coach, right? Whether for Vedic chanting or mantra chantings, mantra yoga, pregnancy support,
Yeah,
postpartum care, holistic health, or life coaching, what would you tell them? Should they join?
of course, yes. Like,
Why?
as I said, under one roof, having knowledge of everything. So it would help people rather than meeting so many people for yoga for one person or whether to another person. Rather than that, just if they can approach you, it would be easy for them to get answers to all their questions for different other branches as well. That would help them searching for multiple persons. If they
Wonderful.
could approach you, it would be easy for them.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
I did get benefited. So that way, everyone should get benefited from you.
Okay. And if I ask you in a scale of 1 to 100%, what percentage would you recommend to another
Of course,
person
I would
looking?
give 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suvarchala. And again, thank you for sharing in details what you have shared. I just want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time and for connecting here. And I wish you all the best. We stay connected.
Thank you.
Please keep in touch and keep me posted. Okay. Thank you
Sure,
so
sure.
much for
Thank
your
you
time
so
today.
much.